please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here. Antoinette, get a roll call.
Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mr. Cook?
Present.
Mr. Bogan?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. Audit of the bills.
Make a motion that the town board approve abstract number 5, dated March 11, 2016, in the amount of $106,569.55. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Rogan.
Thank you. Okay, the first item I have actually is listed on the agenda as recreation requests. That's going to be removed, so move on to highway bids. We had a bid for various services and materials for the highway department. That bid was advertised for the 2016 and 17 bids to purchase those materials. We had the bid openings and some recommendations. So I will move the resolution which approves getting our crushed stone from Putnam Materials, our concrete from Kecht Construction, our tree work from Laurel Oak, wash sand for ice control from Harlem Valley Sand and Gravel, and our diesel fuel from Mirabito Energy Products, as per the resolution. So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also have some from the highway department. The highway department had placed 2 different lots of items onto the Absolute Auction site. One was a new table with 6 wood folding, 1 new table, 6 wood folding tables, and 8 brown chairs as described as lot number 1, and some Christmas items of lights and various decorations as lot number 2 through Absolute Auctions and Realty Incorporated. Lot number 1 had a final bid of $100 and lot number 2 of $20. So I'll move that we approve the resolution accepting those bids for those items. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Transcare. Don, I'm gonna look for you to jump in on this. The issue is Transcare went out of business. The town was contracting with Transcare to provide employees to ride the ambulance. Transcare did not pay those employees. As of today, I talked to 2 employees. They still have not been compensated by Transcare. My concern in talking to Don about this was that the town somehow would remain liable, for paying those employees. Don has prepared a release that if we're going to pay Transcare, and I've got an invoice in here for $21,118, that Transcare is going to have to sign the release.
Isn't being paid to the trustee? Isn't there a trustee appointed? Because they filed.
I thought the first step that would be prudent to do, Kev, was to ask them to sign the release before. We don't have any privity of contract with the employees, and I think it's remote that the town would ever be found liable, but we'd like to avoid even the possibility of being dragged into any type of proceeding. So I think the first step is just to tell them that that's what we propose to do, and if they sign the release, then we've done what we can do to protect. And as far as the trustee is concerned, I haven't seen any documents on that, is
I
it?
haven't seen any either.
Okay.
But are we paying them when they sign the release?
Yes.
That's the plan, but,
Okay.
but
Is this money we
With-
would have paid Transcare?
Well, this is Transcare. The invoice is from Transcare. Now, try to call somebody at Transcare, you get nobody picking up.
But have we ever received
We have not.
No, we haven't received any notice of a trustee's, receivership
But this is
documents or
what we
anything like
owe
that?
up until the time they went defunct, they provided the services, we're paying for the services that they provided.
There should be still 1 invoice after this
Okay.
one.
Which we may ask them for the same thing at
Yep.
that point.
Okay.
But if there is any indication that a trustee's been appointed to handle their affairs, then we should try to get a copy of that and deal with the trustee as well.
Well, wouldn't they
It's the
serve
first time.
immediately serve all creditors?
Yes, we have,
Anyway, yeah.
there's been no service to my knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. If there is, if it's served, Antoinette, if you get served with anything with regard to a trustee having been appointed for Transcare, then you should let us know.
Everybody is on board with this? Everybody is okay with proceeding this?
Services
this way?
provided, and we owe the money now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next on my agenda is Earth Day. Earth Day is fast approaching. It's been a rough winter with litter on the road. We've heard from a number of residents. And what I'd like to do at the next meeting is to set up a schedule on trying to promote people to get out, to clean up along the roadside. We need to start talking to some organizations and get them on board. And I wanted to bring it up tonight just to get the town board aware that next meeting, we're gonna be talking about this a little bit more.
It's first weekend of May, first Saturday in May,
Thought it was the third Saturday in April.
Thursday, okay.
So you're gonna reach out to like Boy Scouts and Chamber and all those good folks and
So are we looking for like a town-wide cleanup effort where we like provide bags and get people out and picking stuff up? Or-
Correct.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
I'll do Couch Road.
That's good.
That's where we walk with the dogs all the
Yeah,
time,
that's
so
good.
just gotta carry the bag with me.
All right. Excuse me.
And the pick,
Losing my
right?
voice here. Next on my agenda is 11 Inwood Place. We have a situation, I've given everybody a fairly detailed.
Friday, April 22nd is birthday. Good saying.
On the weekend.
Birthday 2016 is Friday, April 22nd, but we'll take the weekend, Saturday.
All right.
Birthday weekend.
So we have a situation out on Inwood where we have some drainage problems. The property owner is looking for us to provide some help. Thanks. You know, I went out there, I took a look at it. My recommendation to the board is that we approve the purchase of the pipe through the highway department and allow the drainage problem to be corrected by the homeowner.
Do you believe that that is amenable to the homeowner?
Yes,
Okay.
I've met with the homeowner, and we've reached this agreement.
So it's like about $1,050 something worth of materials.
No, it's $539.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading, you know what, I saw the 500 and I saw the collars, yeah, I added it up wrong, I apologize. Even better. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next on my agenda is,
We'll move on. Do we know who the attorney is?
that's true, we also need to authorize the town attorney to prepare a release. Yes, we do.
Okay.
So do you.
Okay.
Just not right now.
Okay.
We've got a request in from Benderson Development. Benderson Development installed a sewer pump station down at the intersection of their driveway and Route 311. They ultimately dedicated that pump station to the town of Patterson. So being that that pump station was coming to the town, we held money in escrow to guarantee that it was constructed properly. There is still a balance remaining in their account of $2,345.15, and I'd like to move that we release that money back to Benderson from their bond. I checked with Trish. The money is there and it's accurate.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Acme Markets, just a little announcement for those of you who have not seen it. Acme Markets has put up their sign finally. We've been working with them for quite some time now, trying to get them into town of Patterson. I'm very pleased to announce that they will be opening the former A&P store. Their tentative opening date is June 19th, though that may get pushed back a little bit. But they do have their building permits. They are looking at a complete remodel of the interior of the store, as well as making improvements to the exterior of the store to sprucing it up and make it look better. And we have their sign applications in, and we are moving forward with some speed now.
Great.
So
That's
good
good
news
news.
for Patterson.
Very good news.
And my executive session has to do with contract negotiations, and I'll ask to defer that to the end of the meeting. And Russ, if you're available, I'd like you to step in on that for a little bit. Mr. Burns.
Alrighty, first item on my agenda are conference requests. We have a conference request for the tax receiver to attend a tax receiver conference that's being held June 12th to the 15th in Lake Placid. It has to do with tax receiving and reporting. So I would make a motion to approve the conference request as submitted. So moved. I believe it's been budgeted for. I don't think there's any issue with budgeting, so.
No, it's fine.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next item on my agenda, at the last meeting, we had talked to Nikon Security Systems about providing some additional security at the Patterson Boathouse in the Putnam Lake Park District. We now have a proposal for them to provide security and fire alarm system and video surveillance of the site. They're proposing installing a Lynx L3000 control panel with keyboard and cellular transmission. The installation is $650, and central station monitoring is $22 a month. With the installation of the cameras, the total cost of the installation would be $1,400. I believe we do have sufficient funds in the Putnam Lake Park District to do this, and it seems appropriate, so I will make a motion to move the resolution as read to contract with Nikon Security Systems for the installation of the fire alarm system, video, and central monitoring as outlined in the resolution. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Last item on my agenda is a letter we received from Mr. Zenhu Lee of Putnam Lake. He addresses the town board. My address is 101 Haviland Drive in Patterson. I was asked to pay sanitation Putnam Lake a sanitation bill of $383.89. This letter is concerning the fact that we already pay a monthly bill of Suburban Carting to pick up garbage. He would like to remove the tax for sanitation Putnam Lake because we are paying a private contractor. Was this just an error on the tax bill?
No, it wasn't an error on the tax bill. When the sanitation districts were set up, every residential unit was included within the sanitation district for garbage collection.
Okay.
We have a similar situation right next door and on several other properties within the town where they are providing both the commercial dumpster and we are picking up their garbage.
Okay. So how are we to respond to Mr. Lee?
Well, it's open for discussion. We can take the whole property out of the district.
Is Suburban
That's a whole process.
Is Suburban providing, so they're providing both private pickup and a dumpster?
No. AAA is providing.
AAA, okay.
Providing a
So they hire
garbage
their own,
collection.
they hire their own dumpster, and
They
then
do.
they're within the district, so they're,
Correct.
So what is
obviously,
this,
AAA is trying to pick up.
Residential and commercial property?
It is.
So they pay,
So they pay into the garbage district, they pay for benefit units, as well as having to have private carting.
So the question would be whether or not the commercial dumpster is sufficient for the residential use as well. Having the district charge and the ability for the residents would separate the two. Because, you know, I don't know if the resident and the commercial are the same person. If they weren't for some reason, if they rented it out, the residential, there might be a need for that.
Is he availing himself of the Suburban's pickup or just going with a dumpster? So in other words,
He'd
he's
like to avail
saying.
himself of AAA.
Okay,
Yeah, he'd like to, it sounds like he'd like to continue doing the private
right.
and continue using the commercial.
He'd like to,
dumpster.
right, he'd like to continue to use Suburban.
Correct, and privately take care of his garbage.
Correct.
Okay. But does this open up the question of, you know, hey, I'm in District, 2, I have, I have the town picking up, but I decide I'd rather pay somebody privately to come in. It opens up the idea of requests that say, hey, I could get somebody to come in for half the price.
Absolutely.
So I think from that standpoint, it's a dangerous
Slippery
slope.
Precedent, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it based on a policy we're all gonna agree on.
Not on a case-by-case basis.
How many, I mean, it's hard to say off the top of our head, but I mean, how many unique mixed-use residential, commercial properties are facing this situation? You said you've seen about 3?
There are probably 5.
Wouldn't it
And
be?
have any of the others complained or
No.
asked for similar treatment?
No.
Okay.
so we're gonna go back and tell them, you're gonna continue being taxed.
Well, for the moment, yes, we're not gonna take any action.
Right.
This is on everybody's agenda because we need to.
Set a policy.
Yeah, decide what we're going to do for all of these properties, and then we can reach out to all the property owners and say, this is what we're considering.
How do we identify if there's any more than 5? For
Through
sure.
tax rolls.
Is that hard to do?
No,
No? Okay.
no, I don't think she's gonna do it,
No.
but Donna would do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Barry.
Brings up a really interesting question.
So shall we
Yeah.
table it and then renew as another?
We can, unless anybody has a strong
I mean,
opinion one way or the other right now.
No. But are you gonna get back to this, Mr. Lee?
Yep,
Let him know.
yep,
Yeah, we just acknowledge his letter, have you acknowledge his letter and say
not yet.
it's under deliberation? Okay.
No, because I didn't think this was gonna be an easy answer.
Fix.
You know, we need to think about this.
Honestly.
Correct.
All right, I have a motion to add one item to my agenda, budget transfers. Go, all right. Budget.
All in favor?
I guess that's summary for second and approved. I have budget transfer request 10 for 2016 budget, seeking to transfer $828 rather from the, within Patterson Fire for LoSAP benefits. We're transferring between workers' comp and LoSAP service awards. So I'll make a motion to approve the budget transfer request as submitted. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, good.
Next, we have the annual correspondence from Putnam County Director of Real Property about what the cost would be for them, that they provide all the various tentative assessment roll, final assessment rolls, all the different tax rolls, and everything that goes along with it. So this is what we do every year. And we have a resolution to that effect, that approving the agreement, and that we approve the supervisor to authorize and directed to execute the contract.
Go ahead, keep going. Just one, before you finish.
I'm sorry?
You jumped quick. Finish up and then I'm gonna
I'll finish.
ask to change something.
Okay.
Second.
Discussion.
So moved and second. Discussion.
Yeah, I was hoping to do it before you got that far, but okay. I would like to add one more paragraph in there, be it further resolved that the town of Patterson will accept only a single roll of the assessment rolls. By doing that, by agreeing to do that, we're dropping the cost by 2 cents a parcel.
Make a motion to amend the resolution as so stated by the town supervisor. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Like this should go the other way, since our tax receiver collects the fees and then gives it to the county, maybe we should charge them. Our tax receiver receives the town and county fees from all of our residents, and then we give that portion to the county, so we're collecting their fees for them.
We are.
You know, seems like we should make this a mutual agreement, not paying any more.
All right, moving right along.
Talk about that next.
Next, we have correspondence from Sterling Environmental Engineering Corp. relative to the post-closure monitoring and maintenance for the town landfill. They last the inspection of it, checking water quality and explosive gas monitoring, which they do every 5th quarter. The 2015 post-closure monitoring event was conducted in March. Therefore, the next post-closing monitoring event will occur May 2016. And we have a list, and the price is $5,970. This is at the direction of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. So we have a resolution to cover all of this. So I will make a motion that the town board approve the payment to Sterling for this work as set forth in the resolution. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No opposition, but are we obligated for this ad infinitum, or is there an actual end date for monitoring?
There is no end date.
No end date, okay.
that I'm aware of.
Thanks.
And next, we have the building as a maintenance position. I guess you just wanted to talk about it last night a little bit.
You can if you'd like.
Yeah. That, we had advertised for the building and maintenance position. We've received a number of applications. Town board met with several individuals last night, conducting interviews, and all were very well qualified people, in some cases overqualified. But we have settled on 2 people to come back for a second interview with the town supervisor, and we should be able to have a resolution to approve the employment of somebody's by next meeting, or certainly the meeting by the end of April. So we are moving on that, and it was really good last night in talking to these individuals. It was a worthwhile session. Absolutely. Kevin, I'm gonna make a motion to add something to my agenda.
Second,
You're supposed to.
go for it.
You guys gonna keep
Go.
all the funds at your table?
Sport action, fun's all down here.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do this one too, just.
We don't need to take them out, we just need to put them in.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever you say, Chief. We received a memo from the Putnam Lake Fire Department that says, please be advised that the following person has been accepted as a member of the Putnam Lake Fire Department. Randall Sant, 25 Cameron Road, Patterson, New York. I'll make a motion that the town board approves this acceptance of this gentleman to the Putnam Lake Fire Department. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, other business. Any town board member have any other business?
Just have the one announcement.
Do we have to do the return of fees?
This?
Yes, I've got a couple of things.
So you gotta do that
Do
one?
those first.
You want to do those first?
Sure.
All right, I have, under other business, we received a memo today from our Director of Code Enforcement. He is requesting the return of the restoration fees, which is within our code to do, of $150 associated with the Christmas tree sales to Patterson Community Church. And he's also requesting the refund of their processing fee, basically it's the application fee. So,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Okay by me.
So the restoration fee and the permit is for this sale of Christmas trees that the
Correct.
church does every year. This request brings to light, should we be considering some kind of an exemption for them for the future for the same operation, and not have to go through the town's expense of reviewing an application and then going back and refunding fees for time spent, or, you know, as a not-for-profit and a recognized operation? What has been the impact in the past with somebody selling Christmas trees at a church parking lot?
Well, my opinion is we do need to take a look at every one of the Christmas tree operations to make sure that they have reasonable parking, safe and
I mean, this
fair
specific
egress.
application.
Even this application, I think it's good for the town to look at these to make sure that everything is done safe and properly,
Okay.
so that nobody is put at risk. So I would be opposed to eliminating the need for having an application.
And this, so the restoration is almost like a surety or a bond that says if we have to go in and do anything to the site, we can clean it up for minimal amount, right?
Correct.
And I would be in favor of refunding the $150, but not the $25 application fee, because we did the work for the.
I concur with you. And that's the way it's written within our code, that we can refund the $150 restoration.
As we should, we didn't spend it. So
Correct.
I would, for discussion, like to amend that to $150 if everybody's okay with that, from the $175.
Fine.
It's fine.
Just add a
More
motion?
Sure.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the second issue that I would like to bring up, we received today our quote for our commercial insurance. Unfortunately, there's a $9,000, almost a $10,000 increase from last year. The increase is due to their hiring an appraiser and evaluating all our buildings. I will tell you, I've had some correspondence and received the appraiser's report today. I intend to challenge a number of the appraisals. For example, we constructed the sewer plant for $850,000. That's just the building, and they've appraised it at $7 million. So, you know,
Who hired the appraiser, Spain or the insurance carrier?
Niner. They brought him up from South Carolina, Georgia.
Wow.
They brought him up from Georgia.
Local.
So he knows the area well.
You would think that would have gone the other way, and been much lower
Yeah.
coming from the south.
Yeah, you would think, but apparently not. So anyway, the problem we have is to bind with NYMER, we actually have to pay this within the next week. So what I'd like to recommend to the board is we approve the expenditure of $167,420.38 for our insurance, subject to further discussion between NYMER and the supervisor.
So it was like a 7% increase in premium? Was what it really is, $9,000 more, you said, or
Yeah.
something like that? Okay,
Yeah.
it's not catastrophic, but, okay.
No, but it's more than we expected,
Yeah,
apparently.
that's, no, understood. I think you should contest it, but it wasn't like
Yeah, but
premium doubled or something.
as Rich is pointing out, it's more the oddity
Right.
of where they're saying the values are.
Right,
So-
right.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's it for me. Anybody else?
I just wanted to make an announcement that we received word, and it's been on the DEC website, that possibly at the end of this month, the DEC will be doing a prescribed burn in the Bog Brook Unique area, which goes into Patterson. So I think the website says that it's based on weather. I find it peculiar that the DEC can do a prescribed burn during their own self-imposed moratorium on burning, because it's
I am
that
so
time of year.
happy you said that.
Thank you, but it just seems a little bit like it's sending the wrong message, because they're talking about burning for Phragmites to clean out some of the invasive species, which I think is fantastic, but I don't know about the timing of it. I don't know why they pick their own, moratorium time to do a prescribed burn. We heard from our fire inspector last night when we were doing the meeting that he popped his head in and said they had two brush fires in the last couple of days, or yesterday.
It was that day, yesterday.
That were a little bit difficult to get to. It's a tough time of year, so not a good time of year to be doing brush fires. But anyway, I just wanted to make that announcement. So if, I guess the chief would say if you smell smoke, still call, because you never know. But that's something to be aware of in that Bog Brook Unique area. So that should be the end of this month, depending on weather.
Anyone else? Public recognition?
Good evening, gentlemen. Pat Ploger, Patterson. This morning I received a clean bill of health for my septic system, and Tyndall Septic handed me a form, Putnam County Septic System Data and Inspection Form 0912, which is proof that I complied with the law that says our systems have to be pumped out and inspected before May of this year, I believe, was the deadline, Rich?
I believe
think you
so.
told me that last
Yes.
year. I'm curious, since I get the gold copy, you guys, the town, gets the yellow copy. How many of these copies, or more specifically, what percentage of the town is in compliance?
Sitting here right now, I couldn't begin to, well, I could guess. I would guess around 600 people have complied.
So how will we know, because I had my septic pumped out last year, but I don't remember getting what was the name of the form?
Putnam County Septic System Data and Inspection Form
I can
0912.
tell you that the form gets automatically sent to, from the people that do the service, gets sent automatically to the health department,
Right.
presumably the town.
And
So
the town, yeah.
for that, I know because I see them, because they quite often we find out about problems because of those. They're required by their licensure to notify us. There's boxes on there that say, do you see any failures to the surface? Is there any problems with the
Exactly.
tank?
Yeah.
And so we have to follow up with a lot of that.
Is the homeowner supposed to necessarily get a copy?
They should.
Yes.
Each
yeah,
homeowner gets
absolutely.
this
Yeah.
gold copy, Kevin,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little background on this, going back 5 years. This is an imposition in the MS4 program by the DEC.
I remember.
They put it on the towns, even though the towns have no jurisdiction over septic systems and maintaining septic systems. So we, of course, naturally went to the agency that's responsible for septic systems, the Putnam County Health Department, and said, listen, we have this requirement, there's the ability to share services, to work together on this, you know, we'd like to do that. And they were less than receptive to participating. And after a considerable discussion, it was agreed that they would develop the forms, they would make sure that the haulers all had them, and they would build a database so that the towns could have a database to see who's inspecting, who's not, because Pat, as you point out, coming this May, the DEC is going to expect the town to start sending out notices of violation, or at least reminder letters to people who have not pumped their septic. I did reach out to the health department, you know, one of the engineers in the health department, I think he's an engineer, about 2 weeks ago, and said, you know, how's that database coming, and can we get a copy? And he is yet to respond. So I'm gonna have to write the commissioner, the acting commissioner, a letter, and see where that database is, and copy my fellow supervisors, because I know we're all in the same ship, and it's all sinking, but we're all on the same
That's such a
ship.
great choice
That
of
was-
words.
It's a great choice of words.
That's right.
I can see the headlines now.
So the town will then be following up with those people who have not responded, or that the database
Yes.
says hasn't responded
Yes.
yet,
So-
okay.
so-
I mean, I would like to encourage everybody, obviously. We've got the Putnam Lake watershed that goes into the Croton River. We've got almost all of Patterson is one giant watershed for the Great Swamp.
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to comply here in our town.
Well, we really need that database, and I will tell you, you know, I'm always thinking about Plan B. Plan B is Warren Lucas, who is supervisor of the town of North Salem, has built his own database, which he has given to Westchester Health Department, and they're using, and he has offered it to us for free.
Wow.
So, but then we still have to input all
Input
the
all the
data
data.
into it.
I mean, how complicated a database could it be? It's simply a
You have to
listing
s-
of properties
You have
and
to see
whether.
what Warren did.
Yep, but I mean,
And
maybe
it's
over,
phenomenal.
you know, well.
So
it
right-
sounds simpler to me than what a complex database should be. You're on a 5-year rotation or whatever the case may be, you
Yeah.
plug it in, properties, dates.
So
you
right,
need the service.
so right now, if someone wants to look to see if they're in compliance, is there any mechanism to do it? No, okay.
And-
I'll wait for the notice of violation.
When this came up 5 years ago, I think we were all asking the same question. I hate to belabor this, but what, if any, is the penalty for non-compliance? And who levies that penalty?
Well, we do have a local law on the books. I believe the penalty is $350 for non-compliance. I think that's per week.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Yeah, because the cost to pump out is
Right.
about
So,
$350, yeah, okay.
yeah, now, and that's it exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, what the town is looking for is just to have that pump out and inspection.
Mm.
If there's any sort of additional work, then it's going right back to the health department.
Well, the other part of this conversation, if it wasn't for being on planning board, hearing this discussion and a little bit from, through health department, as a resident, I wouldn't have known about this law. So maybe we need to step back up our efforts for public education. When we send out the tax bill, we send in a flyer that says, hey, reminder, you know, we talked about making better use of our mailers.
There goes that 2 cents.
That's okay. That's good 2 cents. That's saving Putnam Lake and our Great Swamp, so that's worth it.
Great, okay,
Right.
thank you, John.
We just saved 25 on the applications.
There you go.
Per head.
Anyone else? Motion to go into executive session?
Motion to go in executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.